3, go. All right, welcome to the GZ podcast with Sillva again. I'm going to try to incorporate more guests and have different guests time to time. This is Sillva. He is a speedrunner, rooter.
I also just like exploring internet topics, so that's one reason why I can go down this path.
Yeah, and Sillva is gonna be mostly on the podcast. We're gonna have guests, but depending on time and when a person can come on and whatever, we're gonna try to invite more different guests. So Sillva isn't always gonna be the only guest. And potentially we'll probably have like a consistent a trio going into the future. So Amrith.
Let's actually back up a little bit.
All right.
Just so we can give a little bit. I know everyone who listens to this podcast is going to have a decent understanding of.
Yeah, remember that video I made? That meme video? Just put. I just took a stock clip and just like trimmed the part of it, and remember that clip I posted? Amorous fans in a nutshell.
Yeah, there are a bunch of.
Dude, no, but no, it's funny. It's funny because the clip is funny, right? Because I took a clip that emphasizes it's out of context, Scott. Which is like, I'm going to be a virgin forever playing Mario, but you've seen that clip, right? It's like when Scott was like, I'm going to be a virgin, but I want to be a virgin for playing Mario. But I'm a virgin playing Mario or something like that. I'll have to link the clip later. But I literally just took that clip and just put the title of the video, Amrith's Fans in a Nutshell. And I think it was like 75-25. Like the distrike ratio, so clearly the Simps are losing here. But yeah, anyway, back on. I derailed. I apologize. So, would you want to start first for our dedicated topic?
I just wanted to give like a quick overview of how we got here. So obviously, the internet was like the wild, wild west.
Yeah, how the fuck did we get here, guys? Guys, how the fuck did we get here, dude? Like, what happened? First, we're literally having farts in jars all the way to literally, like, bath water. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with us men?
Actually, it's the medium itself that sort of spiraled out of control.
Yeah.
So, the idea of the internet was cool. Anyone can have access to any information at any time. And we could all come in anonymously and either post as ourselves or...
May I unironically laugh at the fact that you said come just to be an immature asshole? Yeah, okay. Okay, well, back to that. We're good, yeah, sorry.
Okay, so between the creation of social media like Facebook and... Like, Facebook kind of showed us that people on the internet aren't who they really are. They just give off who they want people to see.
Grifters!
Wow. It's like humans want to look perfect even when we know we're not.
Yeah, it's called grifting, isn't it?
I think that's funny, but that's on a different note.
Yeah.
Basically, there's 3 issues that the internet created. 1, anonymity is good and bad. Anonymity protects trolls, but it also protects people who just don't want others to know things about them. So, like, you can still act the way you normally would in real life on the internet, and that's what I suggest people do, but it also, like, it gives you a veil of protection. So, like, I don't have a Facebook, or I obviously have a YouTube, but, like, no one can find my YouTube. And I don't necessarily want the people at my job to realize I am a a die-hard libertarian at heart. I'm a left-leaning libertarian in the best ways, not in like the radical communist part. I want an economy that works without the government. But I don't want the people at my work to know, because I work for, I'm just going to say it, I work for Kroger, and they are leading the charge in the craziness in the real world.
So you're central left.
Yeah.
I'm a central right. And
Okay.
you know that, and you know this. Like you know my political views. Like I've gone into them.
I'll say I'm homeless. I say I'm left leaning, but like 20 years ago left leaning.
Yeah, so when left was actually good.
Yes. But that's beside the point. Anyways, the internet, some things the internet did. It created an environment for people to be anonymous, but also allowed people to be isolated. People aren't actually expressing the troubles of their lives. They're just putting up the best versions of themselves, so they cut off big portions of themselves from other people. And it's also through online dating and just in general social media, force people to interact only with the best version of themselves, or best version of each other. And there's not real human interaction.
You do realize, right? You know why I don't ever show my camera?
Because you're not stellar looking?
No, that's not it. It's actually my room is a complete mess. Like, there's shit everywhere. There's all this crap here. My bed isn't made. I'm just gonna be real. My room's fucked. Like, there's a thing full of cards. My nightstand's full of trash. Not really full of trash. It's full of unorganized. It's unorganized. I don't want to look bad. I don't care. I don't care what people think about how I look. Like, in fact, you've seen how I look. Like, I look pretty good.
I'm cleaning my room after this. Not because you said it, but because I needed to clean my room today. But that's beside the point. There's a lot of reasons why people want to be anonymous on the internet. And also with the rise of the internet, all sorts of crazy stuff started getting posted. These people were allowed to be anonymous. There's all sorts of furry shit running around online. There's all sorts of OnlyFans got created.
Oh wow, I like people dressing up as dogs. Yeah, it's great. I love people touching kids dressed up as cats. You know, it's great. It's whatever.
There's a lot of issues with the internet, but things that have come out of the internet is there's 3 major kinds of people on the internet. Those who will use their face but still have anonymity to themselves, like Amaranth. Those who will not use their own faces, like VTubers, or like in general, gamers have always been anonymous because it's not about the person, it's about the accomplishments they make or about the content they make that's entertaining. The person as a gamer, no one needs to know your name. They just need to know what
it's funny because video games
are a good secondary medium to allow people to interact with you without them ever knowing who you are or who you are off the screen. Then there are actually a group of people we call podcasters that do tend to put their real name out. And these people tend to get swatted en masse.
Like Charlie gets swatted all the time. He gets swatted by his cloned impersonators.
It's big. Like, there are multi-million-dollar podcasters that get swatted. It's insane. Like, I think Tim Pool got swatted something like 15 times this year.
Hate is a powerful weapon. Use it wisely, friends.
Now swatting is a completely separate issue from a totalitarian regime that we live in, but that's beside the point. On the internet, we have personalities with or without a face, and then we have
quote-unquote personalities. It's more of a persona, really.
No, well, there are those people too. There are people and these usually end up being VTubers. So there's technically 4. There are people who will put on a different personality period while they're online, and this gets concerning. Some of the issues that are involved with that is people are allowed to be psychopaths online. There's a reason why Jordan Peterson is complaining about trolls on Twitter without actually understanding that you just have to let the troll, like, by giving the trolls the attention.
All you do is ignore them, and that's it.
Yeah, you just ignore them.
Remember, that's what we were taught in school. They teach me that in school. Ignore people that bother you. It's literally like something that people should be learning.
Don't ignore them. Respect that they exist and that you have to live with
No, yeah. But just ignore the nonsense.
So many people. Yeah,
just ignore the nonsense. You don't have to read it. You don't have to look at it. All you have to do is just scroll real fast past it.
Online, there's so many people that the vast majority of trolls will have no effect on you unless you interact with them, which is why Twitter is a hellhole.
And why? I deleted it.
Twitter is only for those who want to fight in political battles.
Twitter's just Tumblr 2023.
It's not worth getting into.
It's literally Tumblr 2023, Sillva. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. It's good if you're
getting commissions for art, you just make a burner for that shit and just fuck all.
If it's part of your business model, then yes, use Twitter to advertise.
No, don't use Twitter, guys. Don't listen to this guy. And even if it's your business, do not use Twitter. Let's dethrone Elon Musk. Let's dethrone him by deleting all our Twitter accounts.
Remember, I'm the left-leaning capitalist.
How does that work?
I think unions are useful.
Yeah, I think
we have to get the government out of business, but
I think we need to go back to the primal roots.
Anyways, I thought I'd also talk about how
Money.
I think the next thing we should move on to, now that we've explained how we got here, is how money plays an effect on all of this. Because obviously people are making a lot of money and making a very sustainable living.
They put their money in factories, they just keep cloning it. No, okay, go on. I'm just trying to make witty jokes because I don't understand any of this.
Okay. Actually, it's a lot easier to understand. So, in practice, people are copywriting their personas. If you make up a name online and it starts earning you a substantial amount of money, you can copyright it. You can copyright this creation. You can copyright the name and or the entire persona.
Yeah, copyright a reaction to a world record speed run, and then you could just copyright the world record speed run so they get the run off of YouTube, so you have the world record.
No, but like the idea would be that Gunner could copyright his name, so that way no one but him can profit.
Gunwunner. Gunwunner.
Now, of course, you don't actually need to 99% of the times unless it's a VTuber.
Yeah, because they make those avatars, don't they? Don't they customize them shits?
Yes, you have. If you're a VTuber, you really actually need to copyright that shit, because anyone can impersonate you by creating a very similar or just copy pasting your avatar and changing the name a little bit and just.
Somebody actually had a very similar design to one of the VTubers I've seen. I think they parade around with Jabroni Mike or whatever. I think is, what do they do? I think it's Lime. You know who Lime is? I'm not sure if you're familiar with her.
No.
They had their avatar basically ripped on one of those games. I think it's very they ripped their. It looks very, very similar to hers. It's should I copyright claim this?
If she ripped her avatar...
No, they made hers before then. The game was released recently.
She could sue them over it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Legal battles are annoying.
Now, here's the important thing. You don't actually need to copyright your own persona 90% of the time, as long as your faith goes with it. But the idea of having a persona online also rolls into the fact that artists and specifically more specifically authors who use pen names tend to sign things with their pen names with when they're creating stuff, and it's really obvious that that person is signing that pen name, and legally you rarely have to fight copyright over that pen name as long as you can prove that you were using it first.
So as long as you prove and verify that you use it first, that you've had it for had dibs on it, you have it's your name. Like Gold has always been mine for a long time. Like that I had this name forever. It's
So, like, for example, one thing I've thought about doing, once on Blue Moon, I'll have the idea. The main character of my book, his name is Sillva Aegis, and
Fire Emblem inspired.
What?
Fire Emblem inspired, or
No.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a Fire Emblem character.
But the idea would be, I could, in theory, also use that as a pen name specifically for that series. Like, that would be interesting.
By the way, when Sylva's book comes out, I need you all to buy it. We need to buy like 5 copies, guys. We need to make it record sales. We need to buy 5 copies and then resell it for like $2.
It has a long way to go. I'm not worried about it right now.
I'm gonna buy the book.
Cool. Anyways, but the idea is that authors have been signing with pen names forever. So in theory, if there's ever going to be case law over non-VTubers, it's going to be authors have been signing with pen names forever. They've signed with documents with pen names legally. Don't try, like, if someone tries to sue an author for using their name on accident, it's not going to. What'll probably happen is the author's going to have. They're not going to have to pay anything out, but they're going to have to no longer use the pen name. But in exchange, there's reasons why authors use pen names. So, like, for example, J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, she actually tried to spread off on her own again with a pen name, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out quite as well. It didn't pop off. But the idea is sometimes authors need to use pen names whenever they write. Sometimes for religious reasons. Like, I might do it just because I don't want to get disowned by the rest of my religion for my book, because it's different.
You're such a pussy. Fuck that. Fuck that. You're a baby. Come on.
I know.
Safe, edgy chicken.
I'm just giving some ideas.
I'm mostly joking, of course, but yeah.
I know.
I understand. It just sucks that you gotta, like, kind of do that.
I'll almost definitely sign it with my own name, but the idea still stands. There's times when people need the anonymity when they publish things. And that's the useful part of the internet too. But there's a cool new thing that's been happening. You sort of need to copyright your persona as a VTuber. Companies can own those copyrights. Most VTubers are actually, what happens is they license or entirely sell the persona to a company, and then the company pays them to run that.
Oh, so they get like a commission from the company or something, right? So they get like a commission, sort of.
They could get a flat rate, they could get a commission, but the idea is the company holds the bags. Like, the company holds responsibility for whatever comes out of the VTuber, and the company just has to handle the losses they'll have if there's any issues. But the creator, the original creator, passes over the risk for a much smaller but more secure paycheck. Or another idea that you could do is start a LLC, a low liability company that will own your creation. So that way, if someone sues the VTuber, they can only get the money out of the company. That's something that is almost definitely happening amongst bigger VTube creators.
So basically, if they get sued, they can't sue them. They have to sue the people in charge.
They will be suing the company that owns the VTuber. That owns the persona.
Right. Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. So the VTuber persona is an asset at that point that generates.
So it's an investment.
Yeah. Or not even that. Sometimes the person will just try to protect their assets by creating a company that holds onto their VTuber persona. Yeah. So imagine it like a car for a delivery service. You generate profit off of driving that car, so you generate profit off of operating that VTuber persona. It's still you behind the wheel, but people know the persona, so people will donate money or buy things from it.
So it's a branding.
Sort of. Yeah, it's really close to a branding thing, but imagine one company that doesn't have a name but owns the branding on something else. So like 5 Hour Energy, I'll just give this as an example, is created by a company, but people buy 5 Hour Energy because it's 5 Hour Energy.
So like Brisk from PepsiCo.
What?
So like Brisk is from PepsiCo, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like that, except for like VTubers.
Yeah, they own. It's sort of like that.
Yeah, Brisk is like the brand, and like PepsiCo's the company behind it.
Yeah, sort of like that. Now the interesting thing is these companies can pay if there's a breach in contract or a termination of contract where the company keeps the VTuber asset, they can actually pay someone else to run the asset, can pay someone else to run the VTuber. I know that sounds weird, but this is where it gets crazy. This is one of the places where it gets crazy. I've heard rumors that there are some VTubers that get threatened with this when they step out of line and start talking about stuff.
Oh, God.
Their employers don't want them to talk about. So, like, human trafficking, that's a hot topic once in a while.
Yeah, they don't want you to talk about it because they don't want you to know what actually happens.
Actually, it's not quite like that. They just don't want all the political heat because these are VTuber channels. They play video games, act cute.
And that's it.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. They tell stories. They're there for entertainment. They're not there for politics. And the companies don't want the heat of the politics. They just want to make money off these things. And people want to be entertained by listening and watching some
a cute anime girl.
Something. Yeah, it's a cute anime girl playing video games. Imagine her doing a Nuzlocke of a Pokemon game.
Yeah, Nuzlocke.
And a massive amount of Pokemon players, and they're all going to donate or subscribe.
Donate now to make my hair 1 inch longer and my hoodie have longer ears on it. I can't help myself with these stupid jokes today. It's all I can think about.
It's okay.
It's a lot to absorb. The next topic is...
Oh, I was gonna just expand on that a little bit more.
Yeah, keep going.
Um, Another piece of that topic is part of the environment that is around personalities. VTubers, it gets scary, but in general, it gets scary if you get too big with the fame. Um, I'm not even going to go into psychological effects of fame, even if it's pseudo fame on the internet. But to start off with, people do get, when you get famous enough, people do, the wrong kinds of people do get interested in you, and you get swatted sometimes. You get doxxed. You get, there's a lot of issues that come up. One of the things I sort of mentioned last time was, like, this is a one-way attention avenue, and everyone is okay with it. We are all watching one person talk about something, listening to one person talk about something, watch someone playing something. The issue comes, a lot. There's a big issue right now with VTubers who look young, like in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
They're going to attract a whole bunch of pedophiles.
Sickos.
Yeah. It is very possible that if you are a VTuber, you can attract a lot of people.
But just say that you're 40 and just post a picture of an old lady.
No, that, you see, that is also another part of the issue. If you're a VTuber, you, the audience is as invested in the illusion as you are. Like, everyone is watching the illusion. So you can't post who you are. Like, that's almost definitely in your terms of.
So you can't post a fake picture of somebody else.
You cannot.
Damn, that sucks. You can't, because pretty much you're just stuck like that. You're pretty much stuck in that, like,
that's
bubble.
if you go through an agency to handle all that for you.
Oh, what if you don't?
If you run it all by yourself, you are still heavily invested in that. You've built up, you've used your time, money, and energy investing into this persona, and everyone who's giving you money is giving money to that persona, and you cannot break that wall. That is a veil that you cannot rip open, or else everything comes crumbling down. You might get sued by investors. You will definitely lose a lot of money. You might get chargebacks on credit cards.
You might get bankruptcy. You might have to sell your house like Boogie.
That's why it's useful to use an LLC, so that way they can only sue the
company
that owns. Yeah, so that way you can protect your assets. Something I was starting to allure to earlier in the last episode that is probably going to be even more useful. If these guys have earned enough money, they can go to asset management lawyers and build a trust that they are the beneficiary of. That a trust is like it's a place where you store assets like money, gold, property, businesses that can be owned. So that way you don't have direct ties to them. A lot of times people get them from their parents. This is what you've heard of trust fund babies, right? People who grow up
with rich fuckers and rich old people that save up all their money so that way they never go broke.
Yeah, and their kids end up being rich for the rest of their lives too. Oftentimes their houses are held in trusts, cars, a good chunk of their liquid assets are in trusts. It's that way it's protected in case something happens to them. It's all passed on. There's just a list of beneficiaries. Someone dies, they get kicked off the list, right?
Yeah.
It's another way to protect assets. Let's say this came out in the Panama Papers. It's a very big way people were hiding assets so they didn't have to pay taxes on them. if you make enough money, you can set this up. You can have your house, car, a vast majority of your bonuses held in trust, so that way you don't have to report them as income to the government, and so that way you can set, like, let's say a CEO only makes 100,000 a year, but he gets
Only.
or this is actually a lot of times what happens. CEOs make 100,000 a year, and then they get paid 4.4 million in bonuses based off the performance.
Only
of
4.4 million in bonuses, guys.
this is just like some example numbers. So that'd be 4.5 million that they got that year in assets, but they can. There's other reasons why they want it to be coming in as bonuses, but if you buy things and put them in trusts, you can sort of hide assets that way, away from the government. You don't actually own the thing; something else owns it, and you just get to use it. Odds are Donald Trump has a lot of his properties in trusts.
You own nothing and be happy.
No, this is the opposite. You own it, but not on paper.
No, I was making a joke because
I know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I thought you didn't get that. You rolled over.
This is going to be an extra level of protection for these VTubers.
Yeah, that's good that they're getting that.
Let's say the government decides they want to sink their teeth into $15 million that you've earned that year. If you own, and let's say as a VTuber, you gave yourself a massive bonus, not even a massive bonus. Let's say you actually just took out everything in, you took out some of your profit and held it to yourself as compensation. So, like, let's say you paid yourself $150 an hour. You worked however X many hours that year. A normal, like if you were doing a 40-hour a week job, which you're not, you're a VTuber, so you're probably working 60 hours a week, would be 900,000. If you set up your money correctly, you can pay very minimal amounts of taxes on that. But it's also good so that way, if someone sues you because they think you libeled them, even though you said something you believe to be true, or there's a whole list of ways you can escape libel or defamation claims that you can fight them. But let's say someone tries to sue you for that, if they have breached, if they have found a way to know who you are, even through your persona, they can only get so much because of the LLC. Remember?
Yeah. So when's Marie VTuber avatar with the party hat? When is that happening? Guys, let's get a pretend donation of like $5 million so Sillva is forced to have a party around on his Twitch stream with the VTuber avatar with the party hat. Guys, let's make it happen. Please make this happen, guys. Make this fake donation, so I can think and imagine him doing it, guys.
I just remembered why I was going down that line. The reason why that's all useful is because let's say you really, really don't want anyone to know who you are. If you have that trust, no one knows. It becomes very hard to identify who that trust belongs to. They can see that you're a beneficiary, but if you have a couple of people's names on there who are also beneficiaries, who have signed documents saying that they won't ever touch it, but their names are on there, it becomes very easy to hide who you are if you own that VTuber personality. So the idea would be that you're the beneficiary on the trust. The trust owns the LLC. that owns the personality. So even though you're operating the personality, the money makes its way back into the trust, and you just get to collect on that. And no one, like, it's very hard to be able to sue you because they have to be able to identify who you are. And that's really hard because you have it set aside in the trust. Hey, can we pause for 1 second?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to pause. I'll go down.
Yeah, luckily we had, there's a pause feature in OBS. You can click pause, and you can pause the recording, and you can resume it.
Good. I'm ready to start whenever you are.
No, we can go.
Okay.
We can move. Yeah, I don't have to start it.
Okay. So, do you have any questions so far?
No, because I'm mostly lost.
Okay.
And it was just good information for the audience that knows more than understand this more than I do. Because you know that GIF of Patrick when they within static, the electricity coming out of his mind at the top of his head. Okay. That's me right now with all that stuff.
Okay, so the idea is that if you want to stay anonymous online but still earn a massive living, you can pay good lawyers to protect you. Protect you from having your identity revealed in court when you start up a VTuber, once you've started making money as a VTuber.
I need to play this real quick. Where is it? I'm too lazy to play it. But I was gonna play the sound. I have a video in here, but I can't find it. Every time there it is. Where is it? I'm too lazy to find it. But I had a thing where it's like Brian saying "What the fuck." You know that clip of Brian's like "What the fuck." You know that clip?
I think.
Yeah, I can't find it anymore. Like I had it.
Okay.
But I was gonna play it, but I'm too lazy to go find it. So.
Okay.
Now on to the next thing, right? Are we on to the next one, or we got more here?
I'll make some final remarks.
Yeah, final remarks.
Do you want to transition to anything?
Anything up? I mean, I was letting you lead, so.
Okay. I'll make some big final. I'm gonna approach the fame aspect.
Yeah, approach that fame.
So, here's the thing. A lot of people who get very popular very fast go crazy. And just in general, the internet makes a lot of people crazy. There's a reason why the suicide rate of young females under 18 has skyrocketed. And it's because women tend to compare themselves to each other all the time in terms of beauty, and then when everyone just posts their A-game pictures and the most beautiful people are posting a million of them, a lot of the times people don't understand, like this gets to someplace. A lot of the times people don't understand that those pictures, it's the best out of 100 from that shot, and people are ending up spending hundreds of hours taking pictures just to find the best one that they can of themselves. Now, when you look at VTubers, they don't have that issue as much, but they still have to put on a good show. Like that's the one nice thing about being a VTuber. No one has to see who you are.
Isn't that great?
Yes. On the flip side, it's a lot of fame will go to someone's head very quickly if they aren't very well versed in life. If you haven't lived a while, fame is a wonderful drug. It is as strong a drug as heroin.
It's the best kind of drug.
Yes, because
I found the clip. I found it. I found the fucking clip. Yes, this is the one I was talking about. That's the one I wanted to play, but it's too late now.
Darn it.
Now you see why I wanted to play the clip now.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, unfortunately, see, the whole thing with fame is that these kids are young. These are young kids making a lot of money, right? And, you know, they let the fame get to their head, and they have this big ego. Oh, I'll never get in trouble. I'll never fail. Oh, I'm too big to fail. But literally realize they say one stupid thing or, like, do one wrong thing, and then eventually all this stuff gets exposed on them, and then their careers are pretty much over, and they be like,
what the fuck?
yeah. So, yeah, it's like what Brian said, like, what the fuck? And that's kind of why, like, these guys, they think they are tough shit, and then the moment they get called out, and then they poorly defend themselves.
I will say this, there are some people that handle fame well, but a lot of people, if you didn't slowly work your way up to it, it hits you like a truck, and you just get a major ego, and you start saying and doing things that are completely stupid. People will burn their lives down around them so fast if they get famous. People will do stupid shit just to keep up the image. And you see this all across the internet.
Yeah,
people.
Has anybody persuaded somebody to not tell something by having them get laid with them before? You know, they use sex as a bribe. Has that been done before?
I'm almost certain people get blackmailed all the time.
No, I mean if women use sex as a bribe, or like, you know, just sexual favors as a bribe to say, don't say anything. I'll do this if you don't tell nobody.
I bet, but just in general, there's probably a lot of very corrupt things going on behind the scenes that we don't see.
Yeah, how do we know Twitch didn't hire these porn stars to come on Twitch to do ASMR? How do we know they? I'm pretty sure that's guaranteed. I'm pretty sure they pay these. They give these girls a computer, and they literally give them partner status instantaneously, and then they give them follower. They force follow a bunch of these people, so they get famous behind the scenes.
I think it's the opposite. I think it was organic. I think.
No, some of them are. Some of them are. They can bot though. They can force follow a bunch of people, or highly favor them in the Twitch algorithm. That's a thing that can happen.
That's possible. That is Twitch exploiting its own.
I'm saying that does go on to a lot of degree on every platform.
Yeah, I think Twitch possibly has found a money-making scheme. But on the flip side, I think it's organic because our society can't handle the internet very well. So a lot of people who were already primed for mental illness based on the destruction of the family unit and people just coming onto the internet with no real connections.
Have you noticed any loneliness since being on the internet for longer compared to when you used to not be on the internet as much?
I've been okay. I think the internet helped me, but that's just because I was a weird kid growing up.
No, I mean, as I got older, you know, like when I started using the internet, I feel more lonely now that I'm older using the internet than when I started.
I've also burned a lot of bridges.
And that helped you just touch grass, essentially.
Yeah, I touched grass on the outside. I think that the internet will echo chamber you. I know when I was a mod, I was doing things. I was a mod on the XD Call of.
That's why when I mod a game, I don't make a Discord. I just make rules. If people don't follow them, I reject the run. There's no sense of community with my game. The problem is when you have these communities and stuff, I say, if you want to talk to me on the forums. Like, that's what it's for. I'm not making you use a Discord and shit to talk to me. If you want to talk to me on the forums. That's just my opinion.
Anyway.
I'm not gonna join no community to fucking hear and run
I
game.
remember misbehaving quite a bit.
Misbehaving.
It wasn't bad. Like I
What
wasn't
the
doing anything
fuck?
wrong, but there were some people that probably thought I was doing stuff wrong, and there were probably some people that just were curious if I was doing okay. Now, of course, I knew at
What
the
the
time that
fuck?
I was intentionally trying to get myself voted out of being a mod. I wanted, at the time, to leave the responsibility behind. But I wanted the community to realize, hey, we need more and better people to stand up to take on the roles. And I was saying, I was quietly trying to get them to vote me out. That's not what happened. What happened was corrupt as hell. It's what happens when you give people who don't believe in saying the truth and who are cowards and tyrants power.
What the fuck?
Instead of using authority that they've earned, they will abuse power and they will do crazy shit that should get them punished to get their way across. And it's sad, but I'm okay. And the sad thing is there's not going to be any consequences because we live in a world with anonymity.
What the fuck?
Oh, when the video goes up, you'll understand why I'm laughing right now.
Okay.
Anyway, so, well, I'm going to transition into the Fallout. What is the Fallout? The condition Fallout. Spelt wrong.
Is it spelt wrong?
You forgot to add an E before the D.
Where?
The CONDITIONED.
Oh. That's supposed to be an S. Conditions.
Oh.
They're right beside each other on the keyboard.
Oh. You pulled the MMO move where you move down and accidentally type D.
Yes.
I mean, is it right or is it the?
So I accidentally hit smite instead of flash, right?
Yeah. So the conditions for all Fallout, VTubers, ethos, and scammers. What do you want to start out with?
The Fallout. So we can start with scammers because that's actually really
Jake Paul.
So scammers, nowadays it's really easy to be anonymous, and it's really easy to fool people because everything's true on the internet, right?
And profit.
Like obviously Michelle Obama's a guy, right?
What the
Everything's
fuck?
true.
Yeah, keep going.
I'm not going down that rabbit hole, but it's
No. I mean, I'm saying keep talking. It's a podcast. We got to keep talking, guys. It's a podcast.
Okay. Anyways, because of anonymity nowadays, we've also created this thing called Bitcoin, and just in general, we've created digital currencies, and it's really easy nowadays to not see the human that you're interacting with and just scam them. You can take people for millions.
What the fuck?
You can pitch this great coin with 9% returns, and that sounds reasonable until you realize that Walmart and Kroger have 2% profit margins, and banks usually have about 2.5 to 3% profit margins, and they only can get that because oftentimes if they ever invest in you, they only ever offer you 2 to 3% over what the government gives on 30-year bonds, right? Because that's
what the fuck?
That's roughly the length of a mortgage, so they have to make a profit on you because otherwise, if they try to do anything but that, it's just more efficient to go to the government.
Yeah.
That's just to set up there are people that think they're going to get 40% returns in 2 months, and it's just like, are you serious? There are people
What
who
the
are crazy
fuck?
enough to see flashy numbers on the screen and think, wow, if I give them $100,000, I'll make $40,000 off that. When I get it all back, it'll be $140,000. That sounds awesome. Without realizing, you're probably in a Ponzi scheme. If you're not holding on to something tangible, oftentimes, like if you don't understand how money works, it's really easy to be scammed by people.
Ponzi scheme.
I'm pretty sure Logan Paul is currently facing a lot. Logan Paul recently scammed people in a cryptocurrency and video game scam.
Hey guys, it's GZ here. Future present interruption here for the podcast. But if you see your YouTuber or favorite YouTuber offering you a cryptocurrency, it's usually a rug pull. Just a pro tip. If they say it's increasing and making profit in the best cryptocurrency, they're obviously going to rug pull it the fuck under you, and they're going to make millions off you. All right, continue.
On that note, it doesn't even have to be a YouTuber. It can be celebrities that
your family.
All know and see. They don't have the reach.
Your own family could.
Yeah, but usually if you're trying to do a rug pull, it's going to be on a couple thousand people. Maybe even a couple million people. That being said, right now is the prime age of scamming, and it's because we were in such an economic boom because the government gave everyone free money after 2008. Like, the banks got free money, so we've been in an economic free fall, and all the numbers have been going up, so it's been hiding the enormous amounts of corruption, and we're slowly starting to see, as the economy falls away, the amount of corruption, the amount of loss that has been stolen away from the economy from scammers. And it's only been made massive because of the anonymity on the internet. Like, right now, like, before people could just see, oh, the bank's lost all of our money making bad investments. Now people are getting a first-hand experience of, wow, everything's being stolen from us because we're trying to move away from the dollar. Or whatever,
What the fuck?
or whatever reason they decide to invest in cryptocurrency. Also, just a move away from the scammers. We have this issue now of a whole bunch of lonely people who are depressed, and a lot of them didn't get good parenting because everyone...
And with 1-inch micro penises?
Oh, ignore that shit. Women don't care too much about that. We have a bunch of weak guys who can't talk to women who are extremely self-interested.
What the
Everyone's
fuck?
self-interested, but the guys are weak and are too scared of getting rejected. And the women are too self-interested and...
Yeah, that's something I was scared of in, like, when I was 15, like, in high school. That shit you should get over, like, when you're, like, 23, 24, at best. At max, you should be getting over that. It's like, if you're scared of rejection at, like, 28 or 30, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like you clearly haven't experienced a relationship because you clearly haven't been able to get one. So just get one. Just be a normal person and accept rejection. It's a part of life.
Yes, that hurts, but also understand that I'm not going into why, because that's another very politically charged topic, but we had a lot of kids being handheld and taking very close attention by...
You know what else grinds my gears, Sillva? A flame above my ass about this high.
Oh no.
Grandpa makes that joke makes Grandpa makes that joke all the time. But yeah, that's in reference to the whole like people getting the lonely people. That's what burns me is the flame about my ass about this high. It's literally all these guys that complain they have no money and like, oh, I want to watch this VTuber or this.
Stop spending your fucking money on people who don't care about you.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it. Get some help.
There's actually the vast majority of simps are a whole bunch of nerdy engineers that easily make $90,000 to $120,000 each year and who have nothing better to spend their money on because they're too afraid to go up and ask the woman on the street for their number.
They could just hire a sex worker.
Yeah, no, that has other issues. It's not about the sex. This is actually a crazy thing about humans. It's not about the sex. It's the connection.
It's the interaction, the connection. It's the feeling like somebody's spending time with you.
Humans are such social beings that it's not like sex isn't about the sex. Sex is about the relationship. It's like, I know that sounds crazy, but our hormones are wired in such a way that even our orgasms are there to form relationships. We are extremely social beings.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the time people just want somebody to talk to because the internet from the inception, later on, it made us all lonely.
Yeah, this is why I was leading.
Because we're all isolated. We're all like we're all in these little cubicles or in our rooms or like in a room piles full of shit playing playing probably World of Warcraft or Wizard 101 or some whatever the fuck gotcha motherfucker you're playing, and you don't really interact with people. All you interact with are basically essentially NPCs in the game. You know, because talking to people online is different than like actually talking to a person, hearing them speak, you know, and all that. And
hey now, I do chess. Thank you very much. I'm a little bit sophisticated about my games.
Yeah, chess. The chess don't really talk to you. There's no silence.
It's even worse. It's all silence. No one talks to anyone on chess.
Yeah, imagine playing an MMO and then somebody tells you "fuck off, you suck, get out of our fucking clan, you stupid motherfucking bitch, you dumb R word, you know, fuck you, you suck, you don't know how to fucking push a button, you can't push this, you can't do that, you can't do anything right." I'd rather it be silenced than some asshole on the internet telling me how shitty I am at the fucking game.
Well, the funny thing is, you still hear that, but it's in your own head. You don't see it on the screen. It's screaming at you every time you hang a queen.
Yeah, you get
You're
look
the
at
one
it.
saying it to yourself. Oh, you piece of shit! You just hung your queen. How?
Yeah, and that's a much healthier thing because you're not. Chess is a game of cat and mouse. A sophisticated game of cat and mouse.
But chess is very unsocial. But anyways, because of the anonymity, all of us are isolating ourselves. And we don't have lives outside for the connection. And the sex workers who don't even have to do sex anymore.
They can just go over the phone.
They can just take off some clothes online. Or even worse, they can just say cute things online and earn thousands of dollars each month. They can give you the girlfriend experience without actually giving you the girlfriend experience.
This also applies to women too, you know. This also applies to girls, with other girls, It also applies with gay and lesbian stuff. It applies both ways. Yes, it does. It applies that way too.
The vast majority of the simps are men. The issue is,
there's a lot of them. Remember, you'd be surprised how many simps are women too.
I believe you. The issue is the vast majority of women aren't making enough to earn a living on OnlyFans doing it.
Have you seen K-pop? How many women fucking simp for that shit?
I bet a lot.
Yeah, not 85% of the fucking fans are women. Like I guarantee it to you.
That's fangirls, though. There's a very different connect. There's a very
But
different
no, not really. No, let me get him a point here. Not really different, because think about it. If they saw one of these people and everybody knew who they were, they'd be running toward them. Basically, the equivalent of how Sims thing. They'd probably give them money too. They'd probably give them flowers, whatever.
Yeah.
There are people that it's the same thing with celebrities. It's a parasocial relationship. And a lot of the problem with this stuff, the VTubers, the e-girls, whatever, is it's emulating a relationship that they don't know us fully, but we think we know them fully, and that's really the thing. And it's like when you emulate Wii U games really shittily on a Linux computer. It's like when you're emulating the game, you're not getting the full experience. You're only getting you're not getting the authentic, original intended experience of the game. It's sort of like that with relationships, is human connections, because you need that. And I think a lot of this internet stuff kind of isolated everyone of all archetypes, and it condensed them into a room behind a screen, and a lot of people even forget how to behave properly, and some of them do really vile acts, and it's really bad now. Heck, I'll even say to myself that I am addicted to once you go on porn, you don't really. It's hard to leave. Like, it's hard to leave because you're addicted to that interaction, that orgasm or whatever it is. You like, it's the same thing. Like when it's the same thing when simps give girls money or give guys money or whatever, and anything. It's the fact that you're addicted to that interaction. You get obsessed and you are addicted to that feeling of feeling good or feeling like you're not alone when you're actually just communicating with someone who has no idea who the fuck you are. And that is where the problem lies, is people want the easy, don't want to have to do any effort to get the relationship, and people don't really know how to actually get an interaction or relationship. Some of these folks, even like in America, they don't work. They don't work. And they don't make much money. And even then, some of them use their parents' money to do this. It's a big problem, and I think there needs to be some sort of... Maybe this is... I'm not sure if this is left wing or right wing, but I think there needs to be some sort of reform or education for these kinds of people that do this stuff. They give them like some sort of thing where they can choose to like learn how to interact with stuff like this, outside the internet. Because, when you, in this online age, and, not to be mean, but some of these people don't really have the cognitive ability to properly interact with people. And some of the things that we think are simple and normal for people, these people aren't raised on that. These people don't have the common sense and stuff to be able to know how to interact properly.
Hey, GC, I've got bad news for you.
I have to go.
I'm one of those people. No, I'm one of those people.
Wait, what do you one of those? What people?
I'm not a simp, but I don't do well with women. I'm slowly getting there, and losing the weight is helping me, but still no girlfriend.
Yeah, I have a girlfriend. It's listen, you'll find one eventually. Don't give up, buddy. Don't give up.
I know. Just I understand the plight of these people because I grew up on the internet. I'm one of these people who has issues because the internet wasn't well regulated, and you can't regulate it because you can't see the problems until...
Fun fact, I had the internet only when I was like 18.
Yeah, no, I had the internet when I was 10.
I had the internet when I was 18 years old, and I think I played online games using another person's router growing up in my neighborhood, because he didn't have it. I would literally steal the neighbor's internet and use theirs. I would sit outside with my laptop. Everybody would be like, what the hell are they sitting out at their laptops doing there? I'm like, oh, we're playing Wiz. We're playing an MMO. You're literally using the neighbor's router From my room, I might add, with a low, shitty signal.
Yes.
And then they finally confront their problems. Like, oh, you need to get your own internet. They're using my bandwidth. Yes. And then we got our own internet after I was playing Wizard 101. And I remember my account getting banned because I did the forbidden rule, and it's give people your username and password. I fucked up. And then not only after that fuck up, I never did it again. I actually had an account have a new account that's really based and has all the good shit on it. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that rabbit hole, that horrible game that I sometimes play. But yeah, it's pretty much yeah, and that's kind of why.
What I'm saying is, my generation grew up on the internet, and even I have problems because of it. I'm saying I feel sympathy for these people, but at the same time, what needs to happen is they need to learn how to draw boundaries. They need trained on how to do it, because they obviously can't look to their peers to learn that either. Simping needs to stop. Women need to get off the internet and stop showing.
They need to get off the internet and stop exposing their cleavage to the world. They gotta stop that. They have to stop exposing their cleavage so these dumb fucks stop giving them money so they can go out of business and get a real job at fucking McDonald's.
I'm just saying the Simps need to stop giving the money out so that way there's no incentive anymore.
You notice on this picture of Amaranth you gave me, Laura looks like the Wendy's chick from the Wendy's thing except with long hair.
What's up with it?
Her hair is the exact same color as the fucking Wendy's. Why does Amaranth like fucking Wendy, dude? She looks like Wendy from like the fucking thing, like a mama version of it.
Hey, redheads are hot.
Yeah, I can understand why. Do you remember the horse mask thing? The whole horse mask shit? She put on the fucking horse mask. How many furries were there during that stream?
I don't want to know.
You know what's funny? I've known ex-speedrunners who watch Amaranth. Oh, you know Amaranth? I was like, ew, Amaranth. I was like, ew, Amaranth. Fuck Amaranth, you know. But honestly, she's a businesswoman. She knows what the fuck she's doing. These e-girls, they
make money. They
woven their audience into a giant quilt, and that quilt just keeps getting drop of their pre-cum all over them, and the quilt just blows gold dust, and she collects the gold dust. They collect the gold dust, and they take it to their local pawn shop, and they put it in their savings account. That's really what happens. And these guys think they're really gonna get with this woman. Dude, it took when the whole thing came out that she was married, bro, people went ape shit.
I know. Like,
people went fucking nuts. And I think that's what you were talking about at the beginning with the VTuber shit.
With the veil, when you have an online presence, if you break that veil, there will be hell to pay.
But she somehow redeemed that hell. She turned it into something good, which means she's a good businesswoman.
She is a manipulative wench.
Yeah, but she's hot.
Why do any of these people think that she isn't being manipulative from start to finish? Like, why would they expect her to not be married? Why would they think they could sleep with her?
Who the fuck is single and looks like that? No one. No one is single and looks like that. That's bullshit.
Well, yes, there are, but...
No, there isn't. They say they are, but they're lying.
You do not want them if they're single and they look like that.
Yeah, because they're probably gonna stab you. They're probably gonna seduce you, drug you, and then kill you in your sleep.
There are crazy bitches out there.
Yeah. Crazy bitches. Yeah. So how do we close the stream?
At what point do you think that the hot girl on your stream is ever even if she were single and she weren't crazy, what do you think the odds are that the other 50,000 guys on there who are also giving her money, what do you really think the odds are that any of you are getting any of it. It's not just 1 in 50,000. She's milking every single one of these. She's going to say single the entire time.
Milking all their cocks dry, guys. Milking all their cocks. Well, actually, the people, the simps, are doing the milking for her, and then she's taking the cock milk to the factory.
In our society, she's doing the moral thing of just making money because everything's consensual, right?
But how does she know these people that are talking in her chat or lurking in there aren't jacking off? Thing is, you don't know.
She doesn't care. She's making money.
Thing is, I could be jerking off the Helios XD runs right now, and he would never know.
I think the fact that we're talking in a somewhat...
Who gives a fuck if this gets promoted in the algorithm? This podcast is for me. This podcast is for me. It's not for anyone else.
Okay.
It's not for the... I don't really care if that gets promoted. In fact, if it gets promoted, it'd be probably by other people, because... I'm just trying to have a fun little podcast. You know, if it catches on, whatever. I'm doing this for fun because I want to kind of like chat with different people and interact with different people and sort of network a little bit, get to know people better. You know what I mean? That's kind of the idea. It's to talk to different groups of people, you know, and you know you're going to be a main occurrence, just so you know you're like the main host.
Yeah.
But I think next for a couple of times it's not going to be. I'm going to be having other people on the podcast, and
that's cool.
You know, when we find a consistent other guy to go on, I know Helio isn't going to do shit with us, but
yeah, well, he can piss off if he isn't interested.
Yeah, why don't you ask him if he wants to join up on it?
Okay, I'll ask him something.
Yeah, but just tell him, just show him the podcast, and you know, just show him the ones we did, and see if he's interested. Because what I'm gonna do, I want to like see, because I think we would get, you know, when we have 3 guys, we'll just talk about random shit, and we'll put a question mark as the thumbnail, and it would just be us shooting the shit, because that's kind of what I want to do. It'll be called Podcast Episode 3, Shooting the Shit, because there'll be a lot of like titles where we shooting the shit. That's kind of like, if I'm having 2 other people, it's going to be hard to, like, stay on topic. So we're just going to shoot the shit, you know? And then we'll make the thumbnail after we're done.
Yeah.
And take notes, you know, after the podcast and say what we talked about, and then we'll make a thumbnail. Because I think if we do 3 people, it's going to be really hard to, like, make topics. Cause, like, it's hard enough with me because I go randomly, like, talk about other shit. And I get up, derail a lot. You notice tonight I was like, because I was tired. But
I think it's okay to do these more specific podcasts when it's just you and one other person.
Yeah, yes.
Beyond just you and one other person, it gets chaotic. So I get it.
Yeah, if I do get sponsored, if somebody does reach out to me, you will. I won't happen. But like, if it does, you'll be getting a portion of that.
Okay, we'll discuss it if that ever
happens. What you'll do for me is you're gonna look into it and, you know, make sure that these fuckers aren't scamming me. You know, just make sure the sponsor's legit. Can you, if I ever get a sponsor, you know, deal, can you let me know if the people are legit or not before I contract with them? You know.
Yeah.
Because it's really, really hard to trust people, and you know, you're the smart guy, I'm the stupid one, so I need like a smart guy to like make sure this is legit, you know, because you're good at that, you're good on the financial side, you're very knowing in and know, so I'd request that you help me with that kind of stuff. If I did a sponsor, I'll let you know immediately, and you could just check it in and do some research and make sure if it's good or not.
Okay.
All right, yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say then. All right, any ending notes? It's been an hour. Been over an hour, so
I think one final comment.
All right, final comment.
We've moved in a position in our society where on the internet it is advantageous to do antisocial things and to create a shell around yourself so that way no one knows who you are. And the issue is that is leaking into the real world such that people are being disconnected when we need connections at the most.
Fuck?
and it's sad. And I hope
What
I
the
hope things
fuck?
change, and I hope we can draw boundaries between the real world and the internet at some point.
Yeah, but hopefully they nerf this AI shit so that doesn't happen.
Oh, I think that's gonna fail.
The AI shit or the nerfing it?
I think AI is gonna fail. I think we're gonna find ways that humans are just 100,000 times better at doing certain things, and AI is just gonna be like a supplemental tool.
So it's gonna be like things for like helping making videos and shit. Like you just use it to utilize the voices and stuff like that. Like it's gonna be like a feature in like video editing stuff. If it's an editing feature, that'd be great.
It will help, but I think AI is going to collapse. I think certain forms of AI are going to collapse.
So you think it's just a big bubble right now? Everybody just it's trending. We like to call it the fad.
I don't know about a bubble. I think it's like a fast growing plant, and winter's going to hit and kill it at some point. Not kill it, but like it's going to die back.
Yeah, you notice how these crypto bros just went to AI right after they got called out on their shit?
Well. If you want to do another video on AI sometime in the future.
No, we're not doing AI. No. We're going to do video on AI. But there is going to be a video on... I do have some topics for next time. I'm going to preview them in the podcast. So here's the topics for next time so you know. It's going to be consumerism, and because I want to like jump from this to like another form of like what this is. So consumerism, stuff. How do I like put it? Like stuff like possessions, and natural value.
Okay.
You understand where I'm going with this? You understand where I'm kind of going with this? I was kind of...
Consumerism versus like...
And versus like possessions, consumerism, possessions. What is it called? What is it called? Like materialistic possessions, I think is what it's called. And... natural what do you call it? What's the last thing I said?
I think just like if you want to generalize it, if we just talk about like
oh yeah,
possessions, consumerism,
and minimalistic living. That's it. That's a simple living.
Okay,
yeah,
that's a cool branch.
Yeah, because it like branches off. Like I'm talking about, like we live like consumerism. Yeah, so stuff like that. It's like this. So I'm trying to word. I don't remember how I'm wording the second thing, but it's like basically minimalistic. Is it called like? I don't know what it's called. I'm trying to think of the word. I said it before, but I forgot what it was.
Okay, I'm just typing down the topic notes, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you what I took from that list.
All right, so this is the end of the episode, guys. It's been great doing this upload, and thanks to shout out to Sillva. His links will be in the description below, like last time, and yeah.
I haven't streamed in a while, but I don't know if that's.
What should we name the title of the video? I'm trying to think of like the Dead GZ Podcast, Episode 3. Money, fame. I'm gonna just call it MFA.
Okay.
And it just be like this random, out of context MFA Fallout. How's that for the topic? I think that's good. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Sillva's links will be in the description, and hopefully we can invite other people as other guests on the podcast. I'm thinking of bringing back the Dark Boss and potentially Thomas, or potentially Eagle, maybe. Oh no, like I said, I'm trying to bring other guests. It just depends on our schedules and stuff like that. So next week I'm gonna be free on Thursday and Friday, and next week is probably gonna be stale as opposed to like speedrun stuff because I'm kind of burnt out, honestly. So, bye.
Thank you for having me on. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye bye.